Who's cooler than the other side of the pillow? Who can throw ice at Lil Wayne during a concert and not get in trouble?
Don't throw no ice at me, homie.
Who else thought this was Elsa from Frozen? Well, it's not, alright? It's Alysia the Ice Weaver, the first champion in my A through Z Battlerite Spotlight series. Alysia is known for her long-range damage and crowd control effects capable of freezing her enemies, shielding her allies, and gracefully jump around the map, all while making you look like some sort of Christmas ornament. I'm Too Sketchy and welcome to the Alysia Champion Spotlight. You ever wondered what makes Alysia so good and how can you get better? Well, in this guide we'll not only go through her entire kit, but also her battle rites and some of her combos. Please be advised that depending on when you are watching this video, that patch notes could have altered certain numbers. Before we break down her kit, you need to know that Alysia has two types of crowd control, chill and freeze. She has a root as well, but it's only available if you choose the Frost Nova Battlerite, which we'll get into later. But for now, the most important thing to know is her chill and freeze mechanic. Chill is a status effect which slows the enemy up to 30% and can last up to 4 seconds. What I mean by that is this little bar is equivalent to 4 seconds, but you can always reapply it by hitting your abilities and making it last longer. Freeze disables the enemy for 3 or more seconds, giving them 20 health points of an ice shield, and hitting the ice shield actually lowers the freeze duration. The chill status effect needs to be applied first to be able to freeze the enemy, and by doing so, it allows you to either set up a wombo combo, peel for yourself, or make a fight one-sided by temporarily taking out one of your opponents. With that out of the way, let's start with Alysia's M1, also called Frostbolt. It launches a cold bolt that deals 15 damage. It also deals 2 bonus damage and adds chill duration to the enemy already affected by chill. It's important to know that this doesn't apply the chill status, it only extends the duration. But lucky for you, this ability does have one battle right which you can choose from, and it's called Frozen Muse. Whenever you apply freeze to a target, your M1 Frostbolt becomes more deadly for 3 seconds. It will not only deal 4 bonus damage, so a total of 21, but also apply the chill status effect. So the best way to use this would be freezing one opponent and turning to the other remaining enemies to apply and maximize your damage output and spread that sexy 30% slow more easily. It's not one of the most common picked battle rites, but the option is there. Moving on to her M2, Ice Lance. It's a projectile attack that deals 22 damage and inflicts chill. Also deals 6 bonus damage to enemies already affected by chill. Ice Lance has 3 battle rites to choose from, 1 control and 2 offensive types. The control one is called Cryogenic Lance, which increases chill by 1 second, explodes upon hitting or at max range, and applies chill to the surrounding targets. This one is good if you're not confident enough that you're going to hit your target and want that AoE explosion to help you apply chill more reliably. Icebreaker is one of the offensive battle rites. This deals 3 bonus damage to your M2. Ice Lance now deals a total of 25 and breaks ice before actually dealing damage. So you with me on this one? In the beginning I mentioned how freezing your enemies gives them a 20-point ice shield. Well, with this, it breaks the shield and a true 25 damage Ice Lance slaps them right in the face. Hence the name Icebreaker. The last battle rite for this ability is the other offensive one called Piercing Cold. It's exactly what it sounds like. It adds 10% more range to your M2 Ice Lance and now pierces your enemies with 30% reduced damage for each hit. If you know your enemy is going to be stacked behind a tank, you can still cause damage to the backline, apply your chill, and potentially even freeze them while they think they are safe. Moving on to her spacebar ability called Arctic Wind, it's her only large movement or gap closing ability by soaring gracefully to a target location while applying chill to anyone at the starting point. This has 2 battle rites, a control type called Frost Nova, which I mentioned earlier in the video is her only chance to root the enemy. It's a decent counter versus sticky champions because after the root, chill is still applied. So not only does she create some space between herself and the enemy, but has set up a potential freeze combo. The second battle rite is called Twirl. It's a movement based rite, which allows her to recast her space to jump again, but at 50% less distance. Another good way to get away from melee champions, especially from Croaks who can recast their space as well. Her EXQ is called Ice Block. Encase yourself or an ally for about 3 seconds, making them immune to disables, block 50 damage, and heal for 30 HP while all movements and abilities are disabled. This is a lifesaver, to be honest, and if used properly, it can counter nearly every ultimate in making sure you or your allies survive. Her Q is next, which is called Glacial Prism. It shields a target ally or yourself and absorbs 24 damage for about 1.5 seconds. And when it breaks, it explodes, inflicting chill on nearby enemies. This is not only good for yourself, but perfect for melee allies on your team, giving them not only a shield to stay safe, but the chain reaction of it exploding can easily set up a freeze combo in the enemy front or back line, or wherever your ally decides to jump into. Glacial Prism has 3 battle rites. Personally, I think choosing any of these depends on the playstyle that you like to play with, but let's start off with the first one being Crystalline Lattice, which absorbs 12 more damage, so a total of 36, and increases the explosion radius by 20%. Next up we have Figure Skating, which grants a 60% fading haste, so you sprint a short distance, all while being shielded and safe. Last but not least, we have Wintry Blast, which deals 10 more damage upon exploding and adds 1 more second to chill. Her E is next, and it's called Flash Freeze, which calls down a frozen star to a target location. After a short delay, this deals 18 damage and inflicts chill to enemies in the area. Inflicts freeze to enemies already affected by chill. Did you get that one? Alright, her E is one of the most vital parts of her kit, allowing her to turn chilled targets to frozen targets. Flash Freeze has 3 battle rites. Blizzard, which increases the radius by 10% and its cooldown by 1 second. Second, we have Snowstorm, which pairs up really nicely with anything that roots. It leaves a lingering snowstorm and deals 12 damage, all while applying chill over 2.5 seconds. This damage ignores freeze and applies the damage directly to the target. Arctic Cloak is perfect for your melee allies if they are the type to go ham on your opponent, giving them a lesser Glacial Prism inside of the area. Her EXE ability is called Snow Cone. Channel a cone of cold snow that deals 21 damage and inflicts chill over the duration. If you hit max chill during Snow Cone, this target freezes. Next up we have her R ability, also known as Ice Crown. Launch a fragile sculpture that knocks enemies back and blocks enemy attacks for 1.5 seconds. When it breaks, it launches a cone of icicles that deals 20 damage and inflicts chill. This has 1 battle rite and one of my personal favorites. It's called Vandalism, which essentially allows you to break your own ice crown. Her F or ultimate ability is called Frozen Gallery. It marks a path of frost in front of you. After a short delay, the patch deals 35 damage and inflicts freeze to the enemies hit, turning them into beautiful ice statues. The battle rite for this is called Permafrost, which helps you with the delay of Frozen Gallery, ensuring a chill is applied before the inevitable freeze, and now freeze lasts 4 seconds. She also has 2 perks if you want. Agility, which increases the movement speed by 10%, and Inspiration, increasing the energy you gain by 10%, and you can bank an additional 25% to your maximum. So now let's talk about combos, and to be honest, there are just so many ways you can weave in her combos because how unique her kit is. But to note some, QEXE is an anti-melee combo. EXE immediately after you Q explodes, which applies chill on your opponent. This will cause an instant freeze. QE space is a surprise offensive attack. Q yourself and hit E on the potential target and space towards it. Your Q will not run out while you are in mid-air, and upon landing, the Q will burst and E will freeze anything and everything around you. And here's a good rotation for you to practice on the playground, so take out a piece of paper or something and write this down if you want. It's Q, M1, E, M2, M1. Or replacing the E with a EXE, it'll be Q M1, EXE M2, M1. So yeah, that's it. That's Alyssia in a nutshell. I hope this video was somewhat helpful to show what she is capable of and share some things you might have not known. Besides these guides being useful to new players, please don't hesitate to comment down below if you are a Alyssia main to help contribute to the cause. Also, I am looking forward to seeing you more as we continue to dissect the champions of Battlerite. Next one being Ashka, the Molten Fury. See you then. I'm Too Sketchy, and I'm out. Peace!